Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm coming from India.
From India. What is your name?
My name is Uche Chubu. I'm from Haji.
Thank you very much. Please go ahead. From India. Go ahead.
Yeah. My question is, since the British came to our land and introduced currency that we are using today, called the pounds.
Yes. Yes.
And before they came, they were using cowards.
Yes.
So if we get our freedom, are we going to use the same British currency, or are we going to introduce our cowards, which is a legal iron?
No, we are going to be like every other person. We are going to have our own currency. It will not be called a pound. Isn't it very funny? It's a good thing, my dear sister, this point you raised. Isn't it very funny that the same people that hated us so much, Ojukwu actually pegged Biafran pound to the British pound, also called it pound as well. You see, can people now actually see the way that Britain ate into our brain? That even when they are killing us, we are still using their currency, pound. Unbelievable. That is to show the type of people we are. We are open-minded. Why Britain hates us is their business. Why Britain despises us is entirely up to them. I don't know. Now, to answer your question, we are going to go back to having our own currency. It won't be called pound. It won't be called dollar, but it will be pegged to the dollar, of course, because of exchange rate fluctuations and other, because of the likes of George Soros, people who speculate on currencies, people who run it down. They will come to you and tell you to devalue your currency because they've hedged their bet on your currency going down. That was how George Soros in one afternoon made £5 billion in front of our eyes. I saw it. Nobody told me. George Soros was not a very wealthy man before. This multi-billionaire now that is going all over the place playing God. George Soros was an ordinary currency trader in London. During the Black Wednesday, I think that was in 1990, I can't remember anymore, 1996 or 1997 in the UK, when Norman Lamont was the then Chancellor of the Exchequer. It was called the European Exchange Rate Mechanism. You know what they did? Britain said they will not be part of the ERM in Europe. In other words, the pound was allowed to float outside the ERM. And speculators led by George Soros, they got together to have a run on the pound. Do you know what they do? Currency speculators, is ordinary gambling. Gambling. George Soros put a lot of billions. He bet that this pound will be pushed out of the ERM. They told all their friends all over the world. They had a run on the pound. Everybody started to sell their pounds. That even if not for the intervention of Queen Elizabeth, who held a dinner with the Sultan of Brunei, the Sultan of Brunei wanted to pull out his investments in pound and put it in dollars. The Queen invited him for dinner, had dinner with him and convinced him to leave his investments in pounds. That was what saved the pound. The pound was run out of the ERM. And because George Soros bet money on it, he was paid £5 billion as a result. That was when he became a billionaire. Now, listen to me very carefully. What we are going to do is this. We are going to have our own currency, but it's not going to be based on paper. We will try to minimize paper. The world has moved on. There are cashless transactions. Everybody will have their own card with which to make payments. All over the world, people are moving to cashless. Nobody carries cash anymore, but our own currency will be called a Gemma, which is the currency of the Asians. Our own currency will be called a Gemma, which is the currency of the Asians. A Gemma, it will be called. No pound, no dollar, no nothing. We are who we are.